Well, I'm 9 months down the line with the Xbox and coinops and Visionary project. I'm now running a 320 gig hard drive with just over 4 gig left. I'm now running Visionary 3, coinops 5, coinops 6 and Dragon. I'll talk a bit about Dragon once I've shown you everything else with the emulators at the moment. I've stripped down Visionary 3 quite a lot because basically I was replicating a lot of the ROMs in coinops. And basically I'm just running out of space at the moment. So at the moment all I've got is the basic title sets plus Grand Theft Auto for obvious reasons. Dragon we'll go back to shortly. coinops 6 as you can see, and coinops 5. One of the biggest updates has actually been on coinops 5, I suppose. I think I'm running over 8,000 games now. Let's have a look. 8,468. Oh my god. Right, okay. So yeah, we got quite a few going on these days. And as you can see, I'm still running name and console for sorting them. You just use a D-pad then, obviously just flip from console to console instead of having to scroll through everything, which is on the triggers the easiest way, or obviously on the left analog joystick. Anyway, I'll quit out of coinops 5. I'll let you have a quick look at coinops 6 and then we'll go into Dragon. One thing I will mention about Dragon is what I've done is, what I've used it for is my own Xbox games. So what I do is rip the disc to the hard drive using DVD to Xbox. Once I've done that, I then obviously transfer the folder from the game's ripped folder, wherever it is on your Xbox, mine's on the F drive, and move that over to inside Dragon. In the Dragon media folder, I put the folder in there of the pre-ripped game that I've already just talked about, because it's then a hard drive image, and then I need to add some artwork. And the way you do the artwork is do a Google search for Xbox and the title of the game that you've got, go into images, from there find the image you want. It must be a JPEG. I've found that resizing them to about 480 pixels in width, and then you save them as poster.jpg and put that in the same folder as you've actually put your game in Dragon. Yeah, anyway, this is coinops 6 at the moment, sorry about going on about that, but you will realise why I've told you that, because it'll save you a lot of work. In regards to Dragon, I'll get onto it now actually and just show you what I'm going on about. It's an absolute doddle, it really is. You just stick it inside your Visionary folder, Visionary picks it up straight away. And all I've done is just basically copy my game rips, like I said, straight into the Dragon media folder, and then just put a poster.jpg file, well, image file of the title art. As you'll see now, I've only done a few, but as you can see it looks quite nice. It's pretty slick, to be fair. So yeah, fair dues to you guys yet again. You can do this the other way around and have Dragon as the main front end, and then Visionary and coinops etc. within there. You can also add Xbox Media Center with the artwork and all the rest of it, but I'm just going to leave it for game rips, to be honest. So obviously so I can leave the games on the shelf, and as you can see load of times are really good on it as well. I haven't found any glitches yet. I've only been running it for about 2 or 3 days. Obviously I do realise this update video is 9 months down the line from the last one, so yeah, I've been quite busy as it were, and yeah, as you can see, perfect, no problems whatsoever. Quitting straight out these days. I press start, back button, the white and black buttons and the 2 triggers, and that's basically the way of me booting straight back out again to the main dashboard, which these days is Unleash X. I used to run Evolution X, but because there's an inbuilt very good file explorer that does communicate a lot better with my FTP program, which I've now also changed. I used to use Flash XP. I was having a lot of problems with that when I was doing big files. I've now moved over to FileZilla, that allows you to have 10 connections open at any one time. Obviously, if you are doing transfers of a couple of gig, maybe save them till the end of the pack and turn down the connections to say for about 4. I've noticed that does make a massive difference in basically not getting corrupted data. I've had to rewrite quite a few files, which is another beauty of FileZilla. If you do make a mistake and data comes corrupted or whatever, it will save it into a failed transfers folder, and all you do then is just requeue them back up and carry on. Whereas with Flash XP it wasn't very good with that, and it did have a few issues about obviously overwriting files as well. And when you're doing the likes of coinops and stuff and you're putting an update on or a fix or a patch or whatever, it's very important that you overwrite all the files. Another point I need to talk about with doing the data transfers is I've learned the hard way. I thought I could copy Xbox to Xbox stupidly with all the settings, blah 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 blah. Data transfer took forever because I wasn't using the PC anymore, and not only that, it's because all the settings are there from the Xbox that I previously had the system on. I've had to learn basically what settings to reset, or what file should I say to reset from that copy that I was using, which was an absolute nightmare. I actually messed up a system that I was doing for a friend that I realised now was taking me about 7 or 8 months. Thankfully I did lend him my old previous system, the Visonary 2 and coinops 5, around Christmas, because I thought it was only fair while he was waiting, but I hope he realises now why he's been waiting. So yeah, like I said, just on coinops 5 alone, 8,000, over 8,000 games. Then obviously if we go into coinops 6 as well, we'll have a quick count on there. I think it's about 3,400, or maybe even over 4,000 these days, actually thinking about it. But yeah, it's very impressive stuff. Yet again, you guys have done really well on what you've been doing. Very impressed. Thank you. Oh, fair dues. It does take a bit of work to get these systems up and running, but all I'd say to you is have a master set of the files on the computer for the FTP, where you know all the settings haven't been tampered with, played around with or whatever. Basically you're onto a winner then, because you're starting the system up from scratch, which means obviously you've got to do the game scans and all the rest of it when you first start coinops, and it does take a while, but it means then all your settings, everything are for that system. The file structures are slightly different depending on what dashboards you actually use as well on soft mods. I'm noticing Unleash X does seem to access, especially with FTP and stuff, and obviously removing and transferring the files within the Xbox itself without using the computer a lot faster than Evolution X, sorry. But for the end user, someone who's not going to play around with all the settings and all the rest of it, Evolution X is a much better system for them to use. It's just an easier way of doing it without all the complicated settings where they could mess up the system, so you have to go back and try and fix it at a later date. If they've ended up deleting the EPROMs or whatever, which has happened to me in the past with someone's, wasn't the soft mod I did, I might like to add, but I do help my friends out and repair them as it were at times. Killed the system completely. I had to go back to the original hard drive, use Chimp again, which I'll just get onto now. When I'm doing the Evolution X dashboard, I use Chimp not only for making the larger hard drive basically be compatible with the Xbox before doing the file transfers, I also then use it after I've created the hard drive and plugged it in, all the rest of it, got it all up and running on the dashboard, to do my FTPs, because it goes into Linux, which is really quick file transfer when you're using FileZilla, and I've noticed it's quicker than just leaving the Xbox as standard. It does sometimes time out, not very often, usually when you're doing about 130 odd gigabytes of data transfer. Yeah, the hard drive might be getting hot, or the system or whatever, because it's a lot of work that you throw into the Xbox as well, so I don't know. But anyway, it'll reboot, it's fine because you're using FileZilla. You've still got all the files, the incomplete files that you haven't done, it'll overwrite again as a default action, which is absolutely brilliant. If you haven't already set it up as a default in FileZilla, 9 times out of 10 it'll ask you what it wants to do with the file before it overwrites it. which can be a bit of a pain in the bum if you've obviously gone to bed or gone out or whatever and left it, and you come back and it's the first file it's hung up on. But, you know, lesson learned. I've just set up the default rules now to overwrite all files, irrelevant of date, time or whatever, because I know the packs I'm putting on are a newer pack or it's a newer fix or something to actually sort the system out. I'll stick with that. Anyway, I'm shutting up for now, and that'll do. I'll go and do a couple of separate videos now of a quick walkthrough of Dragon, quick walkthrough of coinops 5, quick walkthrough of coinops 6, and show you the visionary system as well. Cheers.